Why are people so terrified of the idea of a collective, of a new and unified Earth? I'm going to explain why with a meme. A meme about ice cream. Why? Because there's nothing scary about ice cream, right? Hey guys, my name is Morgue. Join our War of the Mind by subscribing right now, and my content is controversial, so make sure you hit the bell to turn on all notifications so you know when something new comes out. I came across this meme the other day and I read it and I thought, oh, ha, funny meme. But then I thought about it and I realized, wow, this meme really shows you what's wrong with the world and what needs to change. So let me just read it to you. I was in a park and a lady loudly called out, "Anyone who wants an ice cream, come over here." I headed over with everyone. She handed out ice cream to them all, then asked me, "Who are you?" I realized the rest were all her family. 15 years later, I still think about it. But what I want you to think about for a minute is, what if the world were your family? That's how it should really be. Not like, oh, this is my family and we get ice cream and you don't. But rather, the Earth itself should be looked at as a collective and a community, and everyone should get ice cream. That's how things should be. Imagine a world like that. We get so brainwashed into thinking that the world is just the way it is and it can't change. But we must remember that the world is only the way it is because we've signed up to follow these rules. We can change everything in an instant. And the problem with the world, in a very large part due to capitalism, has broken up the world into individual competing units. And you have these individual families sort of fighting to be better than other families. Oh, we have to make more money, we have to compete, my family first. But what if, instead of the world being fractured into all these competing units, we realize that we're a collective, we're a community, and we should all be helping each other out? What if we had a completely different mindset, and so the lady wouldn't bring ice cream to the park just for her family members, but what if the lady went to the park and just brought ice cream for anyone who wanted one? Because we had that mindset that we're all in this together, and we're all part of the collective, and we're all part of the community, and we're here to make each other happy and build each other up. Just imagine how beautiful of a world that would be. And let's face it, a lot of family members can be toxic. You shouldn't be forced to be nice to a certain one just because you burst out of their bodily anatomy and are blood related to others. Instead, it should be based on those who are helping build each other up, whether they are blood related or not. We understand that the Earth is an evolving mind, and we want to build a world in which everyone is looked at as a member of this wonderful community. That's our goal. That's where we want to get to. But how do we get there? The important thing to realize is that even though we want to have this sort of ice cream for everyone mentality, we can't get there right away. Because look, does that mean we should be super loving and accepting to someone like Trump? No, of course not, because someone like Trump would build a wall so that only certain people could get ice cream and then others couldn't. So it's very important to stay away from this sort of unconditional love mentality where you just love everyone no matter what. Because if you love those who hate, then they will rip your community apart. You see, love is a unifying function and hate is a separating function. If you love, unify with those who are hateful, that separate, they will rip apart the community that you're trying to build. This is known as Karl Popper's paradox of tolerance. Karl Popper says, if we extend unlimited tolerance even to those who are intolerant, if we are not prepared to defend a tolerant society against the onslaught of the intolerant, then the tolerant will be destroyed and tolerance with them. So what this means, if you tolerate everyone, that means you would also tolerate the intolerant. But by tolerating the intolerant, you accept intolerance into your midst and breed that evil. In other words, if you love everyone, that means you're also loving the unloving, the hateful, and the hateful will come into your society and breed more hate. For example, if you were to love Nazis, They will have no problem stomping all over you and setting up the world as they see fit. This is why it's very important to understand that this idea of unconditional love is dangerous, because unconditional love actually leads to the breeding of hatred. This is why we emphasize thinking critically, logically, and rationally. Because of course we all want to love everyone. That sounds wonderful. We want that world. But in order to do that, we have to be rational, because if we right away try to give out unconditional love to all, that would also include the hateful, and they would destroy what we are trying to create. So guided by reason, it's very simple. Tolerate those who are tolerant, and do not tolerate those who are intolerant. On the surface, this might seem like a contradiction, but if you think about it rationally, it is not. If we tolerate those who are tolerant, we will build a tolerant society. But if we tolerate those who are intolerant, they will come into our midst and destroy what we're trying to build. We want to build that world where love can flow freely. But in order to get there, we have to think rationally and logically so that we can build that world. We can't just sort of close our eyes and pretend like everything is great, everything is fine. It's just, bees and birds and the sunrise. Meanwhile, everything is burning. There's Nazis running around. Things are in flames. No, we can't do that. We have to be very, very careful that we stay aware of the reality of the world around us so that we can build that loving world. Albert Einstein said, "The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything." So we want to build that world, a world full of tolerance, a world full of love, a world full of compassion. But in order to get there, we have to make changes and make sure that those who want to destroy that world aren't allowed to do so. We can't just close our eyes and close our ears to what's going on around us. Because if we do that, then we are actually contributing to the evil in the world by ignoring it and letting it breed. The controlling elites of this world rule by keeping the people fractured and in disunity. The more fractured the people are, the more powerless they are to stand up to the oppressors, the rich elite rulers. Unity is the greatest strength that we have. And the elites maintain a world of disunity by keeping the world fractured into competing units. Because as long as the people are busy competing and fighting with each other, they will never unify and come together and establish a new world. A world in which the ruling elites are gone. We understand that we are all eternal minds called monads, but taken together, we form a collective. And we want to build a new earth, a new society that reflects that eternal truth. So imagine a world, a beautiful world, full of love and compassion, and where everyone's trying to help each other and build each other up. Instead of a fractured world where it's my family first and I'm gonna live in this mansion and my family's going to have all the best meals while everyone else can go and starve, but rather a world where the earth itself is a family, a community, a collective. And to show you how deep the brainwashing goes, I want you to see the sense of fear that even the word collective puts into people. Isn't that strange? And that's no accident. The reason why the word collective scares so many people is because the ruling elites want the world to fear unity, to fear a collective, because that's the only thing that can stop them. A collective is a beautiful thing. It's a group of individuals helping each other grow and become and be the best they can possibly be. We are all about the individual and the collective, understanding that we are powerful individuals that want to self-actualize and become the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be, while at the same time helping each other do so, building each other up, and being happy for each other's successes and wanting each other to succeed, rather than fighting tooth and nail in a climb. Notice how terrified people become when any idea of a collective or a unity of the world is mentioned. People are terrified of this. And if you stop to think about this, you will understand just how deep the brainwashing goes. Because there is nothing wrong with a unity of the earth. That is a beautiful thing. The world is our family. All the minds of the earth are our family. The universe and reality itself, all the minds in existence are our family. So let's see that clearly. Strip through the lies, strip through the bullshit, and understand that we are here to learn, explore, and grow together. There's so much to do, so much to explore. But imagine a mind that's divided against itself. It's so busy fighting itself that it doesn't even realize that there is a whole world out there to explore. Likewise with this earth, it's so busy fighting with itself that it doesn't realize that if it would come together as one, there is so much to this reality for us to explore beyond the comprehension of 99% of those alive today. Let's create worlds together, my friends. We have that power. I want two things to happen. I want you to get upset about the state of the world right now, and I want you to get excited about what we can create and what we can do when we come together. And we are coming together right now. This is our time. So join us. Help us create that world right now. This reality is amazing. There are so many things that I want to share with you. So many things I want to tell you about, explore with you all. But first we have to come together as a collective. This is just phase one, you guys. People think that, oh, we are so highly evolved. No, we are just getting started. Once the earth comes together as a mind, there is so much to explore. The game is just getting started. So let's get there. It's so important to understand that we want a world of love and compassion, but we have to take rational steps to get there first. So watch my video called Light Working is a Trap and Why Loving Everyone Doesn't Work. Make sure you subscribe to this channel now, and if you enjoy my work, consider supporting on Patreon so I can continue to create. A big shout out to all the supporters. My name is Morgue and I am Hyperion. Hail New Terra.